And welcome to Photography for Wellbeing at the Virtual Wellbeing Festival. This is part 2. We're delighted to join you again this year. So my name's Suz and I work in the comms team at NHFT.
And my name is Pradeep and I work for the patient experience team.
Hello Pradeep, how are you? It's lovely to see you again.
I'm good, lovely to see you, Suz, and what a beautiful place to meet up.
It is, and we're back in Abington Park, but we're in the posh end, as people in Northampton call it.
This actually is one of the poshest places in town, to be honest. You get the best garden in the county.
It is beautiful here. We're actually in the rose garden at the moment, and the smell is absolutely gorgeous. We've seen lots of robins, we've seen lots of squirrels flying around. There's just so much going on. I'm sure they might make an entrance at some point in this film.
And we have the pigeons.
We do have the pigeons right now, yes. They might pop up and say hello. So, since we last met, what have you been doing?
Loads and loads of walking, and a lot of photography.
Yes. Anywhere in particular?
Mainly around here. I did make a trip to Scotland late summer last year, and a couple of trips to the Peak District. But the best one of the lot was when I went to San Francisco a couple of months ago, because I always wanted to take a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge at sunrise. And
did you manage it?
I did, but there were about 1 million tourists there.
Yes, unfortunately you can't have that place to yourself.
No, it was very, very busy. So not what I expected, but at least I did it.
And was it clear that day? Because a lot of the times you go to San Francisco, it's very misty, isn't it?
Actually, funny enough, I was looking for the mist, because the mist actually makes quite a nice picture, but it wasn't as misty as I thought it would be. But it was still a wonderful morning, and then as it got brighter, we sort of drove around the San Francisco Bay Area and taking shots of the San Francisco skyline, which was something else as well.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yes, I think that needs to be on my list of places to go. I'm sure you'll probably end up going back just to see if you can perhaps get a different kind of shot with less tourists.
That is the plan. I think hopefully in a couple of months I might do that. Yeah.
Lovely.
Looking forward to that.
So so last year we shared some tips, didn't we, around well, mainly first, make sure your lens is clean.
Yes.
Always helpful. The horizon is level.
Yes.
Different perspectives, filters and exposure. And I don't know about you, Pradeep, but when I read the feedback from the people who'd watched our session last year, everyone was really interested in exposure and was like, I'm going to try that next time I go out, which was great to read.
Was that little bar brilliant. Yeah, what a difference it makes.
Really does make a difference.
Yes.
So from our feedback, so thank you very much to everyone who fed back. We're really grateful for that. And today we're going to talk about composition.
Another really important part of photography, which I've really been looking at over the last year or so, is how we get a picture right that looks pleasing. Now I struggle with that personally, and what I do normally is I'll take a slightly bigger picture and then crop it to the composition I want. And then somebody sort of told me about the rule of thirds. We've all heard about it, and that is a rule I didn't really sort of appeal to me, because it seemed like a rule to be broken. But I thought I'd give it a go, and to be honest, it's taught me a lot, because the more you look at a rule of thirds, because you have the 9 squares, 9 segments in that on your screen, and the 4 intersections on it is where you place the things of interest. And the more you do it, the more your eye gets used to it, and then you automatically pick up the camera and you're actually looking at it. So that is it's a really good way to practice composition, where you don't have to do it in post-processing. You can do it straight away.
So for example, if I'm not sure if all phones will have that option to put like a grid up.
No.
So if I was to take a photo right now of one of these amazing trees, you know, you could take it centrally, but sometimes you do want something in the middle of the shot, and that's what you think. Yeah, that's what I want today. But the next time you might think, oh, maybe I just want to move it to the left or to the right. You know, so if you haven't got the grid,
that's okay. It's not a precise rule. The idea is to keep the objects of interest either 1/3 of the side of the picture or the other side. That's why it's called the rule of thirds. So it's that don't keep it dead center unless it's something that's symmetrical and you want it there. You can actually just move the camera so it's slightly off center.
Yeah. It does make a real difference, doesn't it?
A huge difference it makes, and I would recommend anybody wanting to learn composition is just to do that, practice with that, until it becomes second nature, and then you start looking at things. You'll notice yourself looking at somebody else's pictures, and that's rule of thirds there. So yeah, I think it's a really useful tool to learn. But when you actually start digging into it, my God, there's so many different ways of getting the right composition, but they all come back to the basic rule of thirds. So yeah, definitely look into that and try it. And I would recommend anybody who want to get a pleasing photograph, does try the rule of thirds. Yeah, but let's give it a go, and I'd love to have some feedback on that, see when you try. But you will find most telephones, mobile phones, if you go into the settings, you will have on my phone it just says grid, put the grid on, and that's all it is. So you'll see the rule of thirds.
We're going to do a little example in a bit, aren't
I will show you how it works on my phone, but I
Excellent.
think on most phones that you will have something similar. Yeah.
Brilliant, lovely, can't wait to see that. I must admit I've taken quite a number of photos in my time, and I do use rule of thirds a lot. But I always get questioned, why isn't it in the middle?
I know, it doesn't always. The thing is, it's like I say, it's not a hard and fast rule. Certain things will look great in the middle, but especially with landscapes, and I think rule of thirds comes into it. Even with portraits, rule of thirds comes into it really well. But then there are so many other things to look into. It's like the leading lines, which I will not go into it because it's quite an in-depth.
Leading lines are really interesting, aren't they?
They are interesting. I mean, you can have something right central and then all those horizons pointing towards it, and that's quite an involved subject. Maybe next year we'll talk about that one. But we will hopefully try and put together something, an explanation of how it all works, that people can download and have a look at it and try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so Twitter. How is Twitter? Is it as busy as ever?
It is. I don't put tweet as much as I used to, but I'm a bit more selective. I think that's the word for it.
Yeah.
I take so many photographs nowadays, which I think I take far too many sometimes, and I'm trying to sort of hold myself back. Twitter is amazing. I mean, I've got so many followers now, and people are asking how I do it, how I achieve certain effects. I don't very often use special effects or anything. I try and represent what I've seen.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to add a bit of sparkle to it.
Oh, of course, got to have a little sparkle.
Yes.
I must admit, there was some you took last year of a poppy field. Well, it wasn't just poppies, it was all kinds of wildflowers, absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful, yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, where's that? So I messaged you, you told me exactly where it was in the county, and I was like, right, that's where I'm off to now this weekend. So it is helpful to find out things, and people have joined you on walks as well, I believe.
They do. I get a lot of requests for people wanting to come on a walk with me, which is really nice. I mean, it's nice to do that. And I just take the pictures and explain what I've done. I think most people want to learn or how I take the pictures, and I think the best way to do it is to show them how it works.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to help anybody, which is really good because it makes me feel better, because they come back a few months later and then you can see the change in how they take pictures. So yeah, I like that. And yeah.
So roughly how many photos do you think you've taken?
In the last year and a half, that's when since I bought my new camera, I've taken over 30,000. Yeah, so it's a lot of photographs that have. It's that thing about taking that perfect photograph straight away. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It's. I take a lot of pictures and then I play around with it. You'll be surprised how many are out of focus. So that a lot of them get deleted. Majority of them do get deleted, but it's great that we have that option now to take as many as you want. It doesn't.
Yeah,
you don't have to develop the film to find out.
It is, but I don't know about you, Pradeep, but sometimes I think, you get home and you download, then you have a look, and then you think, oh, I could have tried this.
It happens.
I'll have to go back.
It happens all the time. I mean, only the other day I was taking some pictures around here, and you can see the beautiful colours of the flowers. And there was a lady walked past just behind the flowers, and she had a top the same colour as the flowers. And with she walked past, and I thought, oh, look at that, it's matching. I didn't take a picture.
Yeah.
That would have made an amazing picture with those colours. But yeah, there you go, it does. And then you suddenly think, hang on a minute, maybe I should have taken it from a lower angle, or just move to the right a bit. It makes a huge difference in how you, again, we come back to composition there, a huge difference in how the object looks when you change the angle on it.
Yeah.
But that's all learning. This is all learning, and to be honest, over the last since the lockdown, this has been my little school where I come to learn every morning.
Yeah.
With my camera.
People do say every day is a school day. So.
It is a school day, yeah. We never stop learning, and the more you learn, the more you want to learn. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it at the moment. I would recommend it to anybody.
It's certainly a nice start to the day.
Yeah, but it also leads again to when I was saying so many pictures you take, it's that time you spend processing them, looking through them. So now coming to a stage where I seem to think, no, hang on, let's stand back a bit. Don't go around snapping. Just stop a minute and look at the environment you're in, and just see it in your mind's eye what it's going to look like as a photograph.
Well, that brings us nicely into, because this is well-being, and we wanted to talk about mindful photography, didn't we? Because that is a thing. And it is all around, don't just snap away, is it? It's actually really think about what you want to take a photo of. Or actually, when we were talking just before, weren't we? I said, well, maybe actually you could just stand there for a second, close your eyes, give it a few seconds, and then open them up again, and you'll see it in a completely different light.
Highly recommend doing that. Try it. If anybody's not tried it, just have a go at that, and you will see a whole new picture there. Yeah, it's something that I'm forcing myself to do now, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. It actually makes it a very calm experience, rather than rushing and snapping and then deleting them. It's giving me a lot of pleasure as well into looking in depth at everything I photograph now. Sometimes it's difficult to do that, because especially when I want to take a bird in flight, you have to snap away. But landscapes and things, and where we are here now, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to look at.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So what is your favourite time of day, do you think?
Morning.
Morning.
First thing in the morning is the best time ever. I do like sunsets.
Yeah.
But watching the sunrise, especially at this time of the year, when you get out at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch the sun coming up at 4:30 or just after that, I would highly recommend it. Very often when I'm out there, there's nobody else there, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, people are missing this beautiful sight. That moment is just stunning. And sometimes you just don't even think about the camera. Just put the camera to one side and just enjoy that.
Enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
Special, aren't they?
They're very special indeed. Yes, and I would again do it once. I do it very often, but you don't have to do it every day. Do it do it a few times and you'll see what I mean. It's a different world, and the peace and quiet. I love it. Yeah.
Very nice. So, I don't know about you, Pradeep, but last year when we held the competition, with a different word each day, and encourage people to go out and enjoy like a walk or so at some point during the day and just take a photo which related to that word. I was absolutely blown away by all the photos that we received.
I know.
They were absolutely amazing.
I know, and the photos were just just great. I didn't expect that. Put it that way. I didn't expect that, and there were so many wonderful photos came in. It was difficult to choose a winner there. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, so
we're going to share. Whilst we're carrying on, we're going to share some of those photos that people sent in to us last year, and thank you again for taking part. We hope you enjoyed it. But this year we've got something slightly different, haven't we? We're going to run another competition.
Yes.
A bit like what we've been talking about mindful photography. So it's around where do you find your inner peace, or where is your happy place, as a health and care working professional or in a health and care environment. Now we know where your favourite happy place is, Pradeep. It's here.
It's here. This is my happy place. So,
and as we described it last year, this was your back garden.
It feels like it, although it isn't. But it's nice to have somewhere I can walk to within a few minutes and be here. It's just wonderful, yeah. So we need to find, I'm sure we all have a happy place that we can, we always used to think, if I was by the seaside or somewhere abroad. But you don't have to be. You can be, it's surprising what you find if you just take a little walk around where you live.
Yeah.
There's some wonderful places, and we are so fortunate in this county to have so many parks and nature reserves that people can go to within a 20-minute drive.
And when we were talking, I think we were talking the other week when we were planning this session, we were saying, weren't we, if you go on a routine walk, maybe once a day, or if you can, maybe try it the other way round.
Yes.
Because you do see things differently, don't you? Just going that other way round.
It always helps to walk. If you walk clockwise every time to the route, just do an anti-clockwise walk, and it just changes it. It changes the whole place.
It does.
Always good to do that, and always good to, even if you're walking and you can't do that, just turn around and look behind you, see what's there.
There's always a picture somewhere.
There is always a picture. I never get tired. I mean, this park it is a lovely park, but after all these years, I still never get tired of finding some. And we're so fortunate as well to have all the different seasons. It changes every day. Every day there's a different light, and I'm beginning to learn that there's a particular light only two days in a year, but if the sun doesn't come out, you don't see it.
No.
So yeah, there's some beautiful niches in this park that you can actually go and take those lovely pictures. And that's in my diary, so I know that certain time.
So you're not going to share that? You're going to keep that to yourself then?
Well, if somebody wants to know, if somebody lives nearby, then I'm sure I can show them where it is.
But you want it all to yourself?
Yeah. Till I've taken the picture, and then if it works, then I'll tell people about it. Yeah, okay. Then I'll share it. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so what's next for you? We've got some exciting. It's a little sad, but exciting news ahead.
Well, I've again, with this pandemic and everything that's been going on, it sort of makes you realise how precious time is, and coming up to retirement age, I thought I'd like to spend more time being out there. At the moment, I come out early in the morning, but I'm always watching my clock. Now I've got to be at work 8 o'clock. and I'd like to stay on a bit longer. So I've decided to take retirement. So in the next few months I shall be giving up work and taking photographs and talking to a lot of friends who do photography, and somebody suggested, you know, why don't you learn a bit more about it, which I thought about, and thought a lot about it. I'd love to learn professionally and learn the technical side of things, and then I thought, well, why not go to university?
Why not?
So I was really pleased to find that I've got a place at Northampton University for the degree course in fine art, which is just amazing, because I'm not just going to learn about how to take pictures. I'm going to learn about how to process them properly. We have access to the best software, and how to print them, and that is going to be amazing. How to so it's just I'm just so excited. It feels like I'm going to school for the first time. It's been 50 years since I last since I last considered further education, because I came to this country almost 50 years ago now, and my education was messed up because obviously coming here at the age of 16 as a refugee and penniless, then education was the last thing on your mind. But it's amazing how life turns around, and so 50 years later I never have thought I'd be going to university and studying. So really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that people who follow me on social media and will see the difference in the pictures I take. But yeah, my family is still with NHFT, so I'm not going to be going away that far.
No, well, you won't, because I'll be keeping in touch to find out more and see how your course is going, because that sounds so exciting.
It is. It's just like never would I expected that, and I'm so happy that it's happening. And at this time of life, when I'm so passionate about it, it actually makes a big difference. So yeah.
Excellent.
Loving
it.
The
very best of luck, and that's from all of us watching today. But we'll keep in touch.
We will, yes.
Because I'm looking forward to more hints and tips next year.
Definitely, because I'd love to. I'll have learned so much more and so many things. Probably the proper way, I think, is the word. I will only be taking 2 photographs a year, but that will hopefully be perfect. But no, I'm so looking forward to that, and yeah, I'll have there is some knowledge. The knowledge that I will gain is just going to be. I've just got such a thirst for knowledge at the moment about how to take pictures and how to do the right thing. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much, Suz. And you know, it's been really great. I mean, one of the best trusts to work for. I really enjoyed my time here. I've learned so much, and met so many wonderful people. You know, friends that'll be friends for life. And I'll be sorry to go, but I'm sure, like I say, hopefully we'll still be in touch, and I won't be gone. I have signed up for the bank, so. I might come in and have a look around and help out every now and then if I can. But no, I'm really looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Pradeep. It's lovely to see you again today.
Yeah, nice to see you as well. It's nice to start.
And we've had another lovely day.
We're lucky. We're so fortunate, aren't we, to get this weather and the lovely squirrels around and the robins. Robins around us, and
I did think they might take over the camera at one point, but
I know
that would be quite entertaining.